Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rated Puzzles Grind on chess.com. As always, I'll try to solve the puzzles as quickly as possible and then talk about the solutions. So let's begin. Alright. Wow, 1.1% pass rate. So I really have no idea what might the move be. So my knight is under attack, my pawn is under attack, and I have no checks. I mean I have these knight checks, but he just takes with the pawn and then I have no checks. So this is quite confusing. I mean, this move seems to make sense. It defends everything, threatens to take that with check also, but what else could it be? Hmm, Not sure. I mean, maybe trying to bring my queen to that could make some sense somehow, but I mean, he just takes my knight, right? What good does that do? In, so it actually was this move. It's because I have the check? No. It's because he can't stop my promotion? Is that it? I suppose so, but I can go there, I guess, and he can't take, or I can check him, he has to go up, then I check him again, or I just promote with check. Wow, wow, this is crazy. I check him, has to go up, then, yeah, wait, what was I thinking? Yeah, I don't know, I can't promote because he just takes. Alright, so it's probably one of these two moves, because once again, if I check, he just goes up. Right. I mean, I can check him again, but then he just goes back in, and then I can promote. And then I guess I threaten mate if he doesn't take. Maybe this is better. Wow, but I mean, finding this idea is not simple. So here I really didn't see any other move besides taking the rook, because, well, he can just take my rook with check otherwise, and moving it elsewhere also doesn't seem to make much sense, but yeah, here finding a move seemed very tricky. I saw this move, queen d6, apparently it's not horrible. But wow, finding this idea, I mean, I was also thinking like going here maybe for this check, but I guess this is just better because I protect the pawn and I threaten this check. But he can just take my knight, and apparently I just promote and he can't just checkmate me with the queen. So this is crazy. Yeah, apparently, yeah, he just takes my knight in the puzzle and I can just try to promote, which is quite crazy. But here, apparently, queen c3 is the only move. Wow, what if I just play queen here? Let's see. Then apparently he has a perpetual check, I suppose. Somehow. Yeah, I suppose he can just check me somehow. Which is interesting. Yeah, but when I go to c3, it's check. He has to go, let's say, up or whatever, and then yeah, I check him again, he has to go there, and then when I promote, if he doesn't take, he doesn't really have any checks. Wherever he goes, I can just block with the queen, so that's actually the difference. That my queen has to be there to defend my king, actually, that's the difference. Yes, because he can't check me from that side, he has to go for some checks on these diagonals or something, or rank, but yeah, if my queen is on e1, it can just defend. Wow. So that's the difference. That's what makes it so that he can't perpetual check me and get a draw. Wow, so very complex. I suppose this puzzle will be high rated, but very beautiful. Right, so this is a very beautiful forest mate. So it always makes sense to consider the checks. That's what we should always do in any position. And yeah, it's looking at this check. I mean, this is the first check that draws my eye. It looks interesting. And yeah, after I take, actually, if he didn't capture with the rook, if he moved here, well, then I could just take, and even if he took, I mean, I guess I can show. If he moves the king, I just take this, he takes, and I do this, and it's mate. And yeah, like this check I was also looking into, but he takes with the rook, and I can check him, but then he can just move away, and yeah, there's no mate. Yeah, I guess I can show, like, I do this, I can try and check, but just moves away, and there's no mate. So yeah, once again, the solution, just take the pawn he has to take, or its mate, and if he takes, you bring the rook in, the bishop covers these squares, the rook covers that, that's the only move, and then, yeah, if I try to check here, like the bishop could take and it would be bad, but yeah, this check keeps my rook on the back rank, and that is covered by the pawn, and this is covered by the bishop, so it's mate. So, pretty beautiful, let's keep going. What the heck is this? So this seems winning, because he has to take, or I just promote very quickly, and if he takes with that, I promote. If he takes with that, I take here, he must take, and then I promote. So unless I'm missing something, I think it's just winning. Right, and now I think I just take, has to take, and I promote. Right, yeah, so I mean this is a pawn endgame, and they don't have that many legal moves, so I can just calculate all of them. I was looking at this first of all, but then he just takes, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that there is no pawn break. Yeah, it's just a draw, or I even lose if I misplay, and yeah, this move looks pretty interesting. Once again, if he takes this way, I just promote, and no matter what he does, I just promote. He can't stop, his king is too far away, and I win. And yeah, if he takes the other way, as in the puzzle, I just take, and if he takes, I just run. Yeah, doesn't really matter, I just win. So, pretty beautiful puzzle, a nice pawn endgame. Yeah, in this you have to be so careful, you have to calculate every move, especially if you have more. I mean, if you're playing a longer game and you still have time, you should really be careful, because it might seem whatever, just pawn pushes and king moves, but it's actually very complex. If you make one wrong move, like, you can instantly lose the game, even if you were winning before. I've had way too many of these games where I just make a move, and then I see my opponent push the pawn, and all of a sudden I notice that I can't stop it, and it's completely lost. So You have to be very careful in these endgames and calculate everything so you don't lose. Right, so another first mate. Yeah, only one check in this position as far as I can see, and then the rook covers the back rank, the bishop covers this diagonal, so that's the only move. And actually a pretty similar pattern as in the puzzle before. I can check him in on this square, and my rook is protected by my bishop, and then in that position my rook covers this file, and actually the pawn is pretty important covering this square, and yet the rook also covers that, my bishop covers that, so he has to go to the h file, and then I just bring the other rook in and it's checkmate. So pretty beautiful. Once again, my pawn does a very important job of protecting that square, my bishop does that, and yeah, the rook takes care of the rest. And yeah, that's the only move, and this is just mate. Very, very beautiful. I think I can just take the knight, but it seems scary. Yeah, so I think I must take the knight, otherwise I just get mated or lose the game. Because if I go here, he takes, it's check, I can't take. I have to go back, and then he checks me again. And if I then take the knight, my position hasn't improved. And if I move away, then his queen takes my rook, and yeah, I think it's losing. So I think I must take the knight. If it's wrong, then it's wrong. But it seems like he can't mate me if I just take it. Right, and here, I think it's h8 because he doesn't have any checks on this diagonal, but could it be wrong somehow? In this defends the pawn, but it allows him this check and then have to go back anyway. And yeah, so I think it's h8. Play something like that though, what would I do? I guess I would check him and somehow try and do something good. It's not simple, this position. And if I go here, then he could like play and try to attack my pawn. But I could defend the pawn with my queen, and I think I would be fine. So I'll try h8. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And it's wrong, so apparently... what do I do now? So my pawn is not under attack right now, I suppose. Maybe I have to bring the knight back. Possibly. Oh, wow. 3.2% pass rate also. Wow, pretty crazy. Crazy puzzle, but what does he have if I go to h8? As rook f6 and then this pawn is attacked twice, I can't bring the queen in because of the rook. I mean, it's not attacked twice as of right now, but I can't defend it because here he would just bring the queen in also, and wow, it's completely lost. So actually going here is important so that if he brings the rook and I have the scheme move 94 attacking the rook and my pawn covers these squares, my queen covers that, and my king covers that. So even if you try to sacrifice, yeah, he doesn't have a mate. Yeah, pretty interesting. Yes, an interesting puzzle. Yeah, you have to defend this pawn as soon as possible, and yeah, against this rook f6 you have this knight move, luckily, otherwise it would be not good. Right, so another pretty nice forced mate. Yeah, immediately I see this king being exposed against my two rooks on that 7th rank, and yeah, well, this rook doesn't make sense checking with it. He just takes with some rook, but this check is very beautiful. He can't capture, and then that's the only move because yeah, my rook covers that, and yeah, he just can't move anywhere else. He's blocked by his pieces. And then you might see that, yeah, he's quite trapped and lacks space. But my rook is hanging, so I can't just do this because he would just take my rook and there would be no mate. And yeah, this is not enough because I'm down in material. But here I have another check, which is covered by the bishop. So interesting, this is like the third puzzle where there's such a move where I have a rook and checks are covered by my bishop. So pretty common pattern, I suppose. And why this move is so great, because then he can't go anywhere else, that's the only move. And then my rook is safe, it covers the 7th rank, and I just have this beautiful check, which is also checkmate. He can't capture this rook covered by the bishop, and can't capture the other rook either, so is just checkmate my two rooks, destroying him. Yeah, covered by the bishop once again, a pretty nice pattern today. Yeah, very nice, let's keep going. Yeah, so that's just mate in two. Yeah, you can see in this puzzle his king lacks space, and have these two checks. I mean, this check doesn't make much sense. He just captures with the rook. Yeah, or just moves his king even. It's probably also a fine move. And it's just completely lost because I'm down a queen. But yeah, this check looks quite nice. His king has no squares to go to. He's blocked by his own pieces, and yeah, capturing with the knight is the only move. And then yeah, there are basically no checks except these two, and this check looks quite nice. But then you might think he can escape with the king, but there's actually this bishop far away in the corner on this diagonal, preventing the king from moving anywhere. And yeah, he's checked not by the bishop, because if I somehow was checking him with the bishop, he could like block with the pawn or something. But when it's the knight checking him and he can't capture my knight, he has to move the king, and he can't because of the bishop. So bishop's doing very important work today in many puzzles, and yeah, this is just another example of that. So I think I have to take, because otherwise it's bad for me. But then he gets this move in, and he does that. I just collect the rook. Yeah, and I don't mind that. I mean, I could take the knight, but I mean, getting a rook is better, I suppose. Yes. Yeah, so pretty simple. You can notice my pawn is close to promotion, and yeah, it just looks like a normal move, attacking the knight and the rook. And if he takes my rook, then I recapture with the pawn and his king is too far away, he can't stop me from promoting. And yeah, if he goes here, there's a pretty common pattern. I can just push the pawn, and what it threatens is checking the king and attacking the rook when my rook is supported by my pawn. So if he just takes my rook, I take and I promote my pawn. It's a pretty common pattern. It happens in my games quite often, at least has happened in the past. And that's how you ensure promotion sometimes. I mean, I guess, yeah, I can show it an analysis a bit later. But here this is a tricky move, because if I do that now, I mean, I guess I can show it on analysis. It seems easier. Yeah, so the issue here is, yeah, once again, let's say play some random move, then I just do this, he probably takes, and then I get a queen anyway, so it's a common pattern, checking the king supported by the pawn, as I mentioned, and yeah, you just win. But in this puzzle, my opponent is pretty good and plays this tricky move, the pawn push, and now the problem is that if I just play this, he takes, I queen, but then he just plays e7, I think, and my king can't stop, my queen can't capture, and he promotes on the next move supported by the knight. And I think I might just lose at that point. Or wait. Yeah, wait a second. If I do this, right? Oh, apparently, if he does that, oh, he's in check then. But here he can just move the king away, right? And then, let's say I take the rook, then he has this move and I can't stop the promotion. Yeah, so it's a very, very bad and a tricky move, but if I just capture the pawn, then he can't do anything. I just win the rook and the game. So yeah, you have to be careful and calculate these endgames. Wow, so today has been going pretty well so far, so let's keep going. Damn, I was afraid that there might be some better move. What could it be? What could it be? I could attack the queen, but is there some even better? Just moves away somewhere. This is it, just attacking the queen, but he can move away. Why is it so good? See, he moves here. What do I have? Then I take the rook. Wait, what's the difference? Because my knight is hanging. Damn, 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 damn. I totally missed that. If I just take the rook, I lose the knight. And if I attack the queen, first of all, my knight is protected by my queen. And wherever he moves, I still capture the rook. And I keep this knight, so that's the important difference. Wow, so that was a pretty great intermediate move. Wow, 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 guys. I should have spent longer. Yeah, you have to notice that the knight is hanging, and then you might see this move. Yeah, just attacking the queen, so the knight is now protected, and yeah, the queen is under attack, so he must move it, and then this knight is no longer hanging, and then I take the rook. Wow, so pretty important move to play, because otherwise it's much worse. So wow, once again, so beautiful. I mean, here you can just notice that this is a fork on these two squares. The queen can't defend that square, so it's pretty natural. And yeah, this check is just great, attacking the king and the rook. Another fork, you can't capture, but yeah, this move is very beautiful because yeah, the knight is hanging and you can capture the rook later. This attack on the queen. Wow, very, very, very beautiful. Alright, so it seems like there's one more puzzle to go, and wow, we are doing pretty well today, so let's go for the last one. Wow, guys, 2550 and a very, very beautiful mate. Wow. So let me explain it. Alright, so you can notice his king is almost out of squares, and it seems that I have some kind of attack going on, like this bishop is something I immediately notice on that long diagonal, and my knight in here, and this move just looks so attractive. What if I just sacked my queen? And then you see that, okay, there's only the knight in front of the bishop, so maybe there's something good going on. And if I do this, of course he has to capture with the king, nothing else to capture with. And yeah, he has to capture. And then I see, alright, so the king is on the same diagonal as the bishop, and there's only the knight in the way between the king and the bishop. So if I move my knight anywhere, it's a discovered check by the bishop. And if I check him also with the knight, it's a double check, and he can't capture any of my pieces. Since it's a double check, he must move the king, and these are the only two squares which should check him on that square. And then I calculated this. I saw that then he has this move, and with the king, of course. And I don't see any follow-up. I think I can't mate him. And then I calculated this, of course, and the difference is that it's still a double check with my bishop and the knight. I mean, I guess I can show it so you guys see it more clearly. So yeah, this is the position I'm looking at, and I was looking at in my mind, and these are the two checks I'm considering. And once again, if I go here, he escapes here, and I just lose. I sacked my queen for nothing, but if I go here, the difference is that the bishop is still checking the king and yeah, owning this diagonal, and now my knight covers that square also while checking the king. So that leaves only going up, and yeah, then there's this very natural just another check with the knight. The bishop covers the diagonal, and yeah, that is not an option because of the bishop. It would have a similar idea, but yeah, this is just a free and protected square. It checks the king, and he has nowhere to move to, and can't capture my knight, so it's just mate. Wow, very, very, very beautiful. A very beautiful puzzle. Once again, just boom. I guess I can show it here also. sacking the queen, then double checking him that square is covered, and very beautiful mate by the knight. Wow, so 10 puzzles already, and guys, wow, this felt like a pretty great day. Only 3 puzzles I got wrong, and in the first one I got the first move right, at least in that one I also got the first move right, and here I got 2 moves right. Wow, so in all puzzles today I got at least 1 move right. So wow, today has been probably the best day so far while I've been recording these episodes, and actually today, like 1 hour ago, I ate a banana, so maybe that has some influence on my performance today. So yeah, that's make sure that just make sure that you eat something before doing puzzles, and yeah, banana is good. I think it gives you some energy quite quickly or something like that. I'm not an expert, just sharing what I think might be true, and yeah, it seems to have helped today. So yeah, I think that's all for today. I remember yesterday I did 11 puzzles, and yeah, the last one didn't go well at all. It took me over 10 minutes, and I still got it wrong. You can see it in my previous episode. Yeah, it didn't go well, so today I'll just stick with 10. It has been a great day. If you got this far into the video, I really appreciate it. I really, yeah, just I'm thankful for watching my videos. If you liked the video, you can like it on YouTube and also subscribe to my channel so you get notifications when I upload something new. And don't miss these puzzles videos in the future. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much once more, and I'll see you next time.